According to some people, Lisabi is Nollywood's best epic yet. If you did not hear this, good for you. But if you have heard anything like this, I'm here to tell you that that's not true. Lisabi was not even that great, to be honest. And no matter how you look at it, it's definitely not one of Nollywood's best by any standard. People need to calm down and just stop the unnecessary hype. Welcome to Nigerian Movie Reviews, and today I am reviewing the new Nollywood film Lisabi. Lisabi was recently released on Netflix, although it's only available in Nigeria at the moment. Hopefully, they'll release it worldwide in the coming days. In this review, I'm going to talk about the things that worked in this film. I'm also going to address some of the issues that I noticed. I'll tell you why I think the film Lisabi does not deserve all the hype it is getting at the moment. And finally, I'll rate this film on a scale of 1 to 10. So if you have seen this film, I'd like to hear from you. Please drop a comment in the comment section below. Anyway, let's get to the review. Lisabi is an epic set in the 18th century Oyo Empire. It follows the story of an Egba farmer, Lisabi, who rescued his people from centuries of subjugation under the oppressive Oyo Empire. So, what worked with this film? I thought cinematography was really good. The setting of the film was also well done. In terms of costume and makeup, I thought they were very realistic. With these elements, the film was able to capture the essence of a Yoruba community from that period. Another thing I liked about this film, acting and casting, I felt like they worked to a large extent. ADEDIMEJI LATEEF, Mr. MACARONI, Adebimpe herself, they gave decent performances. Maybe not extremely impressive, but decent. IBRAHIM CHATTA, on the other hand, he delivered an outstanding performance as Shongodeyi. His performance was really impressive. His character was ruthless and reckless, and I just felt like he owned the role. Another thing I liked about this film was the storyline. It was good. See, the tale of Lisabi is an inspiring one. His actions altered the course of Yoruba history. So telling stories like this is always a good idea. I think those were the things I liked about this film. So what were the issues? Number one issue that I will mention is that Nollywood needs to understand that there is more to making movies than great picture quality and settings. While the storyline was good, storytelling was really bad. And what do I mean by this? When I heard the title Lisabi, I looked forward to learning more about this historical figure who is often described as more than a farmer. Some people even describe him as a brilliant military organizer. So I was hoping for an exciting and inspiring tale of bravery and strategic genius. Instead, what we got was weak dialogues, bland characters, and so many unnecessary and unrealistic scenes. Lisabi was underwhelming in my opinion. The first 45 minutes of this film was focused on irrelevant subplots. Like, by the time they eventually got to the main point of the story, I was already done. I was tired. When I say the storytelling was bad, I mean they failed to carry the audience along. Did you notice that 1 minute Lisabi was just a normal, regular farmer, and the next minute, he was herbalist in his own shrine with direct access to gods and deities. Oh my God, I kept on wondering, from where to where? Where did this power come from? What is the backstory? The time that should have been spent on this important character development for Lisabi was wasted on Oshokenu and Abebi's love story. It didn't make sense because suddenly there was one giant, there was somebody who was a bird, Orishirishi, and I kept on asking myself, is this still a biopic or a fantasy movie? There was also that scene where Shongodeyi was sitting in the military base and just doing his thing. Then that girl insulted him, but that's not the point. The point is that somebody came to whisper into his ear. Then we saw them stand up. The next thing, a village was burning. And I wondered, what did the person whisper to him? What did the person say to him? What exactly is going on? Why did they burn that village? What actually happened? None of this was explained. And I was just so confused. Another thing that, I said the storytelling was the issue for me. Remember that scene where Oshokenu fought the Ilari Oyo and killed several men? Don't tell me that you also did not think that this was unrealistic. What do you mean that Shokenu Ole, he killed 10 men? No matter how angry he was still just a regular and lazy farmer fighting with soldiers with swords and everything. See, it didn't make sense. Another issue I had with this film was with pacing. See, when you start watching Lisabi, the first thing that hits you is the excessive use of slow motion. In an attempt to make those scenes seem very important and dramatic, they wanted to wound us with slow motion. Everything was slow. Like, even inconsequential moments, even moments that were not important, were slow. For instance, there was that scene where Lisabi was digging, I think, was it cassava or something? It was in slow motion. I was like, Kilo day. Like, don't stop it already. Can you get to the point? Even the soundtrack felt unnecessarily slow and haunting all through the film. As a result, nothing actually felt significant. It was just really exhausting. Moving on, let's talk about the use of CGI in this film. Special effects. It was so bad. Like, it made me cringe. What was even more frustrating about it was the fact that most of it was not necessary. And I'm like, in 2024, really? Another thing that I did not like about the film, I know that I said the main cast, they did not do too bad, but the other people in this film, see, I was confused. And I kept on asking myself, do they do auditions in Nollywood? Because why was Olumide Oworu, why was he mute in this film? Why did they cast him when they knew he could not speak Yoruba? Like, it was so awkward. I kept on waiting for him to speak, but he did not. Then I realized, oh, he can't speak Yoruba. Maybe, or maybe his Yoruba would be so bad, nobody would believe that this is someone from Egba in the 18th century. When we talk about LIQUOROSE as Abebi, for her first film, I thought she did really good. But still, it would have been better if she did not deliver her lines so slowly. I know they were very careful not to give her too many lines, but I could not help but wonder if there was someone else who auditioned for this role and could have done it better, right? For most of the actors in this film, the dialogues were very stiff and their struggle with the Egba accent was very obvious and it affected the overall delivery of this film, even Mr. Macaroni. Finally, I think the biggest issue I had with this film was the lack of originality. See, I have seen all the latest Nollywood epics, and if you have seen them as well, you realize that this film just repeated most of the tropes in those films. Odunlade Adekola, for instance, he has acted the same kind of role in about 3 epics. I mean, same delivery, same courage, same everything. So there was nothing new about the storytelling in this film. There was nothing exciting. Character development was poor. I put it to you that the trailer of this movie was more exciting than the film itself. See, when they ended the film with "the saga continues," I just laughed because I'm like, which nonsense saga? Right? With what they've shown me in part 1, honestly, I don't know what I think about a part 2. Because firstly, there is no reason why this film should have a part 2. If they had prioritized the important narratives, they could have covered all the important parts in part 1. I will tell you the truth, it took me 3 days to complete this film. So I don't have high expectations for part 2. Maybe by some miracle they will surprise us. I'll be so happy and I'll be the first to tell you, right? So in conclusion, I'll say this film is yet another film that could have been great, but was ruined by poor writing and terrible direction. If I will rate this film, I'll rate it 4/10. And that's because a large-scale project, a great premise, cannot compensate for a lack of compelling storytelling and memorable characters. The film lacked tension, it was filled with terrible special effects, and as a biopic, It offered no new or insightful perspectives about Lisabi himself. So have you seen this film? What did you think about it? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Please share with me in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.